Let's talk about Gig Harbor.
Gig Harbor. As a town or the escape room?
Both. Escape hour at Gig Harbor. I highly recommend going early to Gig Harbor or staying late, get lunch, get dinner, get a drink or get a coffee or something, spend some time in Gig Harbor. Just a perfect setup for escape hour at Gig Harbor, which right now, as we reflect on it, turns out to be one of the best escape rooms, if not the best total package escape room we've ever been to.
Mike was super high on this escape room. First of all, let's talk about just
I wasn't
pulling
high
up.
at the escape room.
No, you were high on it.
Yeah.
About it. Pulling up to escape hour was we thought we were pulling into an apartment complex. So if you aren't sure where you're going, Mike said, this is just an apartment complex. We got the wrong address. No, there's like a little office strip mall tucked away in these apartments, and you pull up, and it's just sort of an underwhelming office building.
Yeah, their signage on the building looks really nice, but moving up to it, you're like, this can't be right.
Appropriate,
right?
And it's like, this is the one we've been hearing so much about.
Yeah.
And we were met at the door as we pulled in.
Yeah.
There was somebody watching for us.
He was ready for us.
And he stuck his head out the door and asked, who we were. So I rolled down my window.
Yeah.
Like, we're the Wilsons, here to do escape things.
And he called us in.
And he spoke into the collar, Secret Service style. Spoke, Eagle has landed.
I don't think he said that.
Pretty sure. I'm a good lip reader. So you walk into the lobby, and you made a comment that it felt like it reminded you of Disney World. Just that level of anticipation and hospitality. Yeah,
you're entering the scene even going into the lobby. Now you've got the queues, you've got the countertops, you've got all that stuff. They got that at Disney World too. And I just felt like it was incredibly well done with all the design from the very beginning.
Okay. Well, it's been a while since I've been to Disney World, so I'll take your word for it. But we get some explanatory instructions to go into the Mayan ruins room of what you're there to do. Now, I will say this room didn't necessarily have the level of acting or role playing from the host. Okay with that. It's fun when they have it. It wasn't boring, and it wasn't a dry explanation of
and
what
she
you're
gave
about
you
to
the
do.
story about what you're about to do.
But it was somebody that just in plain clothes saying, here's what you're about to do. And so that was, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, no, I
don't think it takes away from the room.
They set up the story just fine, clarified if you need to go to the restroom, do it, described the locks, gave the rules, take you into the room, not a bunch of extra stuff. Let's jump in and enjoy this room.
So we get into the Mayan room, and you walk into this room, and the walls are hand carved.
Yeah.
Walls.
It's incredible. It's really well done.
The detail you feel like you are in a cave.
Indiana Jones.
There are not sheetrock walls in this room.
Yeah.
Somebody has put plaster up and hand carved these walls.
Everything. And it's not, he's not just saying like, yeah, they've got some cool foam walls. No, it's like the pieces in the walls are interactive. There's clues in the walls that are stuck in the walls and removable and interchangeable, and you interact with it. Just phenomenally well designed room, and everything meticulously designed just to lead you into this story that is a very clear storyline, easy storyline to follow, and a lot of fun.
Yeah, and kind of an immersive storyline. It's more than just an immersive room.
They TM'd more than an escape room. TM.
So don't steal it.
Don't steal
they
more than an escape room.
So we get into and so the lighting is very dim, not dark, but appropriately very dim, because it feels like you're having to find your way around by torchlight or something like that.
Yep. Indiana Jones. He had a torch.
Indiana Jones style.
Yeah.
Big fan of Indiana Jones franchise. Those series of movies, loved all of them. And even the
as you're doing this room,
Shia LaBeouf one, that was still good.
Pretty good. You hear da 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 da.
Yeah.
You hear it in your head while you're doing the room.
Yeah. So if you ever wanted to live Indiana Jones,
go do this room.
This room will give you a little bit of feel for that.
Everybody should go do this room. If you are near Gig Harbor and you've never done a room before, you should go do this room. It was incredible.
There were can we say how many rooms total are in a room, or is that giving stuff away?
It's giving stuff away.
Okay, more than one room, but the first room you get into is fun enough just in and of itself, and then it just builds.
Have we said the name of this room?
Yeah, Mayan ruins.
Mayan ruins, yeah.
Mayan ruins, and so the clues are straightforward. We needed a couple hints at some point along the way. That I thought they were good hints, well given, well timed.
Yep, clear, to the point. Let me give you how to get the answer.
Yeah, so the hints given are walkie-talkie style.
Yep.
Mike inevitably will put the walkie-talkie down and forget where it is, and so he just sort of has to wait for the walkie-talkie to talk to him.
And I said, "Is there any way somebody can talk on the walkie-talkie?" And they did. They helped us find it.
And we found the walkie-talkie that way.
As far as puzzles go and clues go, just very intuitive. They had a book, which usually is not we're not big fans of a book of directions of things to do, but it was really well done. The book itself wasn't hidden. The book itself wasn't hard to understand. Once you found the page, it was easy to follow. They had a logic puzzle in this room that was about as complicated as any logic puzzle that I've done.
The Mayan math?
The Mayan math. But I had a blast doing it because the instructions were so good. Like, you felt like when you finished this puzzle, I accomplished something. I learned something.
Yeah.
Like I am.
You got an A grade on the math paper.
Yeah, I did the math paper, and we did it well, and it went really well.
There was another element that took some dexterity.
Yeah, it was a physical challenge.
A physical challenge. So every once in a while, you go into a room with somebody who's like, they are not good at puzzles, not good at logic, not good about much.
Yeah.
But they're kind of coordinated.
Yeah. Right.
So there's a task in this room where you're like, it's going to take you a few minutes to do this.
So you gave me that puzzle because you're a jerk. Okay.
I had to keep you a little occupied. So you used your dexterity and coordination to move this puzzle along to where you could get a key.
Yep.
Turned out to unlock something.
And this room is a searching room. And you kind of know that when you go in. There's so many details and items on the wall that are obviously not just there for no reason at all. And it's a searching room, so we did a good job of searching. There's only one thing that we didn't find while we were in the room, but that has to be a tip to do this room. Search really well. Look at every wall. Look at the ceilings. Look at the floors. Look everywhere, because you're going to find clues everywhere.
There was one puzzle Mike was able to crack by skipping a step.
Yeah.
And we had to guess. We had to figure out a word.
There's only a few words that work in that lock. I was like, I'm just gonna see, and sure enough, it worked.
So when we finished the room, again with about 10 minutes to spare, it's a 70-minute room. We did it in about 60 or so. And when you finish, you know you finished.
Yeah.
Because you've been working to solve this thing for the last half hour. You know what you're supposed to do. You're just trying to figure out how to do it. And then when it happens, it's a big reveal.
I think
you know what happened.
I think we have to compliment that. We have to talk about how fun it is when you are working toward a finish line and you reach the finish line. Most rooms, you don't know what the finish line is. You're just working blindly forward, and it drives me crazy that you finish it and it's like, is that it? Is that it? Did we do it? And you don't have that.
Can we just walk out the door now, or
exactly?
Are we done?
Yep. And this one was, you knew what the finish line was. You're going toward it. We were fully aware the whole time. What are we aiming for here? And so when you finish that last puzzle, when you open that last lock, it is a celebration moment. You get to go on full celebration, and it makes it even better that the game master comes in the room and celebrates with you. They did something really cool in this where they come in and they say, "What was your favorite puzzle?" Yes, thank you for asking that question. Help us talk through it. Help us reflect, because we just opened a ton of puzzles, and that helps us reflect back on, did we really just get to do that?
Yeah, and you kind of get to debrief the room with the people who helped to create the room.
And then she can kind of say, yeah, and if you would have done it this way, then it would have gone that way. And so she actually spent time, in both rooms we did at Gig Harbor, she actually spent time, or Escape Hour, going through the room with us.
Yeah.
How brilliant is that? Why do more game masters not do that?
Right.
Like, walk through what just happened. Don't just push it out the door. That was a blast, and let's talk about how much fun it was.
Yeah. Because some of these rooms take people a year to design.
Or more.
Yep. A year or more, and it's cool to just kind of see what was the thought process that did that.
Yep.
And just to get a little bit more of the story, that's a lot of the fun.
And there were a couple things. I love a puzzle where I'm not sure how it worked. Like, we did the process, and something opened, But how did that work? Like, how was that connected? Like,
Well, let's rate this room before we move to the next one. I'll let you go first.
5 out of 5. I am really torn about whether or not I want to say this is the best room I've ever done. It's
Big
up
statement.
there, and we're a little too close to the event, and it happened too recently. Maybe it's because my excitement and my emotions are running high right now, but it feels like my excitement level feels like this was the best room I've ever done.
It's a big statement.
And it's just because, and I wouldn't say there was any one puzzle, there was any one lock. It was just the full package. They did everything right. I have like no criticisms for this room. I can't think of anything that I would have done different in this room if I was designing it.
Yeah.
And they came up with puzzles that I haven't seen before. So if you can get rid of all the unnecessary hurdles, if you can get the player excited, if you can immerse them in a story, if you can make it clear that this puzzle goes with this lock, there's no complaints. It was a near perfect, if not perfect room.
There was a lot of engineering in the room,
Yep.
like different engineered parts that have to work, and everything worked.
Yeah, perfectly.
Everything worked like it was supposed to work.
Yep,
So well done on the craftsmanship
yep.
of the engineering.
I'm a big
well.
fan of lasers. Had a laser thing. I can't give much more about that, but I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, some light. Yeah. So I would say, yeah, definitely a 5 for me, and a top five room all time for me as well.